You may think all nuts are healthy, but some may be quietly doing more harm than good. They're small, crunchy, and often marketed as nature's perfect snack. And for many seniors, grabbing a handful of almonds or cashews feels like a wise, heart-healthy choice. But here's what most people don't realize. Not all nuts are created equal. In fact, certain types, especially when eaten too often or prepared the wrong way, can quietly raise your blood pressure, spike your blood sugar, and even strain your digestive system. And that matters, especially now. Because as we age, our bodies become more sensitive to even the smallest imbalances. What you eat doesn't just fill your stomach, it shapes your energy, your memory, your mobility, even your mood. A nut that once seemed harmless in your 40s might now be triggering joint inflammation or slowing down your heart's rhythm without you realizing it. The good news? The right nuts, prepared the right way, can also be some of the most powerful foods you'll ever eat for your heart, your brain, and your bones. That's why today's video is so important. We're diving into the 4 best nuts seniors should eat regularly for strength and longevity, and the 4 types you may want to limit or avoid entirely. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness. It's about understanding how your needs change over time and giving your body the best chance to thrive. Stay with me until the end. You'll walk away with clarity, confidence, and a smarter path forward. And if this helps you or someone you care about, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Now, let's begin. 1. Almonds, the heart's best friend. If you've ever craved a snack that feels satisfying and supports your heart, this little nut deserves your attention. Almonds are often called the heart's best friend, and that title isn't just clever marketing, it's backed by science. A daily handful, just about 1 ounce, has been shown to help lower bad cholesterol and raise the good kind. That means you're actively protecting your arteries every time you crunch down on this nutrient-rich gem. And there's more. Almonds are full of magnesium, a mineral that supports steady blood pressure and calms the nervous system, 2 things that often become more fragile as we age. They're also loaded with vitamin E, an antioxidant that helps keep your skin supple and defends against cellular aging. For older adults who worry about thinning skin or cold hands, this small nut can quietly offer real support from the inside out. But here's where it gets tricky. Not all almonds are created equal. Many store-bought varieties come coated in sugar, heavy salt, or artificial flavoring, things that can undo the very benefits you're hoping to gain. A honey-roasted almond may taste delightful, but it can also spike your blood sugar or raise sodium levels without warning. The key here is simplicity. Choose raw or dry roasted almonds, skip the fancy coatings, and keep your portion to about a handful a day. The best part? This isn't some major diet overhaul. It's a small act of care, a daily habit that can ripple through your heart, your skin, and even your energy levels. Imagine opening your pantry, reaching for a small glass jar, and knowing that what you're about to eat is actually helping you stay strong. That's the beauty of almonds. Easy, natural, and deeply nourishing. In a world where so many health choices feel overwhelming, this one is simple. A quiet, crunchy ally waiting to work on your behalf. So the next time you're looking for something to nibble, remember this. Your heart is still worth protecting, and 1 handful of almonds could be your most delicious line of defense. 2. Walnuts, the brain's secret ally. Think about the times you've walked into a room and forgotten why, or when someone tells you a story you swear you've never heard, until halfway through it sounds strangely familiar. These moments happen more often with age, and while they're usually harmless, they can also stir up quiet worry. You might wonder, is my mind still as sharp as it once was? And most importantly, is there anything I can do to protect it? Here's the hopeful truth. Yes, there is. And one of the simplest tools is already sitting in your grocery store. Walnuts, often overlooked beside flashier nuts, are incredibly rich in a plant-based omega-3 called alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA. This fatty acid is known for supporting brain cell structure and reducing inflammation, both of which play a major role in protecting memory and mental clarity over time. Just ask George, a 69-year-old retired engineer from Arizona. After struggling with scattered focus and frequent forgetfulness, he started adding walnuts to his daily breakfast on the advice of a friend. Within a few months, he noticed not only better recall during conversations, but also a steadier energy throughout the day, like a mental fog had begun to lift. What makes walnuts truly unique is their antioxidant profile. Every little half contains compounds that shield your brain from oxidative stress, the kind of slow, invisible damage that can build up as we age. It's like giving your mind a gentle armor, one that doesn't come from pills or procedures, but from a natural, whole food you can easily add to your day. And there's another layer to this. Walnuts have also been linked to improved insulin sensitivity and better blood sugar control, two key factors in long-term brain health. When blood sugar fluctuates wildly, it doesn't just affect your energy. Over time, it can impact cognitive function too. Walnuts help keep that system steady, protecting your brain from another angle. A small handful a day, roughly 14 walnut halves, is all it takes. You can toss them into a bowl of oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, or simply enjoy them as they are, earthy, grounding, and rich with purpose. So if you're hoping to keep your mind clear and your memory strong, let this be an invitation. You don't have to accept mental fog as your future. You don't have to wait for decline before you take action. With every walnut you eat, you're choosing to invest in clarity, in awareness, and in the joy of remembering the stories that matter most. It's not just about staying sharp, it's about staying you, and that's worth every bite. 3. Pistachios, the satisfying weight manager. Your mind isn't the only thing that deserves protection as you age. Your body, your energy, and even your sense of control over your weight matter deeply, too. And that's where pistachios come in. After 60, managing weight isn't just about looking a certain way. It's about feeling light enough to move, strong enough to support your frame, and confident enough to enjoy each day without discomfort. But here's the hard part. Metabolism slows, cravings sometimes rise, and emotional eating can quietly creep in when life gets stressful or lonely. That's why finding foods that satisfy and support your goals is so important. Pistachios may be small, but they offer something few other snacks can. They're one of the lowest calorie nuts, yet they're packed with protein and fiber, two of the key ingredients for feeling full and staying full. That means fewer blood sugar crashes, fewer urges to reach for sugary snacks, and more stability in your day. And when you choose them in their shells, you create a natural pause between bites, which encourages mindful eating. You slow down, you savor, and you give your body time to recognize when it's satisfied. But the benefits don't stop at your waistline. Pistachios are also rich in two powerful antioxidants, lutein and zeaxanthin, which are known for protecting your eyes. That's especially important as you age, since macular degeneration and other vision concerns become more common after 60. Adding pistachios into your routine becomes a 2-for-1. You're caring for your weight and your vision, all in one delicious handful. Try aiming for about 49 kernels a day. It may sound like a lot, but once you get into the rhythm of cracking them open and enjoying their earthy, slightly sweet flavor, you'll find it's a habit that feels both indulgent and empowering. This isn't about dieting or denial. It's about choosing smart, nourishing foods that actually work with your body, not against it. It's about feeling more satisfied, more in control, and more at peace with how you fuel yourself each day. Pistachios may not promise dramatic change overnight, but their steady, satisfying support adds up over time. One thoughtful handful at a time, they remind you that health and enjoyment don't have to be separate things. In fact, they go hand in hand. 4. Brazil nuts, the thyroid guardian. Have a nut that works quietly behind the scenes, supporting one of the most powerful yet often overlooked systems in your body, your thyroid. And the Brazil nut, though humble in appearance, holds an extraordinary secret when it comes to this vital gland. Your thyroid may be small, but it plays a massive role in regulating energy, mood, metabolism, and even how your body handles temperature. As we age, especially past 60, thyroid function can begin to fluctuate. You might notice signs like fatigue, thinning hair, dry skin, or unexpected weight changes, and sometimes they're easy to brush off as just getting older, but often they're connected to this small butterfly-shaped gland in your neck. Here's where Brazil nuts step in. Just 1 to 2 of these large buttery nuts provide a powerful dose of selenium, a trace mineral that your thyroid depends on to produce and regulate its hormones. Selenium also plays a key role in protecting your cells from oxidative stress and strengthening your immune system, a benefit no one should overlook, especially in later years. But, and this is important, Brazil nuts aren't the kind of snack you want to eat by the handful. Too much selenium can actually be harmful, potentially leading to nausea, brittle hair or nails, and other symptoms of toxicity. That's why they're best thought of not as a treat, but as a natural supplement, something you add with care and intention. Keeping 1 or 2 Brazil nuts a day in your routine can be a quiet but powerful gesture of self-care. You don't need to overhaul your whole diet, just a small, mindful addition that gently nourishes a part of your body that rarely gets the attention it deserves. So next time you open your pantry, think about the Brazil nut not as a snack, but as a partner in your long-term well-being. Small, simple, and surprisingly potent, it's a reminder that sometimes the best health choices are the ones that whisper, not shout. And when your body is being cared for from the inside out, you'll start to feel it. More energy, more balance, and more trust in your daily routine. If this helped you look at your health a little differently, don't forget to share this with someone you care about. And subscribe for more insights that help you feel strong, supported, and informed every step of the way. 5. Macadamia nuts, the hidden calorie bomb. While Brazil nuts offer a concentrated source of healing in just 1 or 2 bites, not every nut delivers the same quiet benefit, especially when portion control gets tricky. And that brings us to macadamia nuts. Rich, creamy, and undeniably delicious, they seem like the perfect indulgence. But for many older adults trying to stay healthy and energized, they may be a little too indulgent. Here's the truth. Macadamia nuts are not inherently bad. In fact, they contain heart-healthy fats and a smooth texture that makes them feel luxurious. The issue isn't with their nutrients. It's with how deceptively easy it is to overdo it. Just a small handful can pack over 200 calories, and because they're so light on fiber and protein compared to other nuts, they don't leave you feeling as full. You reach for another, and then another, and before you know it, you've had 5 servings instead of 1. Take Marilyn, 74, from Flagstaff, Arizona. She started snacking on macadamia nuts while watching TV in the evenings, something that felt harmless at first. But within a few weeks, she noticed she was feeling sluggish in the morning, and her weight was creeping up, despite no major changes to her meals. It wasn't until she measured out the actual portions that she realized her evening snack was adding over 500 extra calories a day. With a few simple swaps and a smaller portion size, her energy and her confidence started to return. For seniors especially, every calorie should count towards something meaningful. fueling your strength, protecting your organs, or supporting your immune system. Macadamias, unfortunately, often offer more pleasure than lasting nourishment. What's more, they're frequently sold coated in sugar, drenched in oil, or dusted with salt, all of which can quietly undo the positive steps you're taking in other areas of your diet. That doesn't mean you need to ban them entirely, but it does mean enjoying them with intention. If you love macadamias, try using them sparingly, maybe as a topping on a salad or a small ingredient in a homemade trail mix. Pre-portioned packs can also help you keep things in check, giving you a taste without tipping into excess. This stage of life is not about restriction, it's about awareness. You deserve to enjoy your food, to savor it, and to feel good after eating it. That's why knowing which foods can quietly lead you astray matters so much. Macadamia nuts can still have a place on your plate, but not in the spotlight. Think of them as a treat to sprinkle in, not a daily companion. By staying mindful and informed, you give yourself more control over your health without sacrificing joy. And in the end, that's what eating well after 60 is all about. Finding the balance between enjoyment and nourishment, and letting your choices reflect the care you have for yourself each day. 6. Peanuts, popular but problematic. Peanuts are one of the most widely consumed snack foods in the United States, found in everything from trail mixes and lunchboxes to airline snacks and peanut butter jars on grocery shelves. Despite their name, peanuts are not true nuts. They are classified as legumes. This distinction places them in a different nutritional category, which may be especially relevant for older adults. Legumes differ from tree nuts in terms of protein structure, allergen potential, and how they interact with the body, making it important to consider these factors when including peanuts in a senior diet. Because peanuts grow underground, they are especially vulnerable to a group of mold toxins known as aflatoxins. These invisible compounds thrive in warm, humid storage conditions and have been linked to liver concerns when consumed in large amounts over time. Now, this doesn't mean a peanut butter sandwich is dangerous, but it does mean that quality and sourcing count. Mass-produced bulk peanuts, or those stored improperly, can be more susceptible to these contaminants. And that's something worth knowing as you make daily dietary choices that support long-term health. Another consideration is inflammation. If you're someone who's managing joint pain, autoimmune issues, or chronic inflammation, peanuts may not be your best ally. While they offer some protein and nutrients, they also contain omega-6 fatty acids in higher ratios, which, when consumed in excess without enough omega-3s to balance them, can tip the body toward inflammation rather than away from it. For those dealing with allergies, whether personally or through family members, peanuts also carry a higher risk. Even if you've never reacted to them before, sensitivities can develop later in life. That's why paying attention to how your body feels after eating peanuts or peanut-based products is wise, especially if you've noticed digestive upset, headaches, or skin reactions you can't quite explain. Still, it's not all bad news. If you love peanut butter, consider switching to a natural, unsweetened variety and storing it in a cool, dry place. Look for brands that test for aflatoxins and avoid unnecessary additives. As you grow older, every small shift in your eating habits becomes an opportunity to care more deeply for your body. Peanuts may still have a place in your diet, but now you know how to enjoy them wisely, with care, clarity, and confidence. 7. Pine nuts, delicate but disruptive. As we continue exploring the world of nuts and how they affect your health after 60, we now arrive at a tiny, elegant seed, often found topping salads and gourmet dishes, pine nuts. Their buttery texture and subtle flavor may make them seem harmless, even luxurious. But sometimes even the most delicate foods come with unexpected downsides, especially when it comes to your health and comfort in later life. You might be surprised to learn that pine nuts have a quirky and little-known side effect. In rare cases, they can trigger what's called pine mouth syndrome, a condition where everything you eat starts to taste metallic, sometimes for days. It doesn't happen to everyone, and the exact cause isn't fully understood. But for those who experience it, it can turn a lovely meal into a frustrating ordeal. And as taste becomes increasingly important for maintaining appetite and nutrition in older age, it's a disruption worth avoiding. Beyond that, pine nuts are rich in oils, which makes them prone to spoilage. Unlike almonds or walnuts, these oils go rancid quickly if pine nuts aren't stored properly. That means the little bag you've tucked into the back of your pantry could be doing more harm than good. Aged or rancid oils can contribute to oxidative stress in the body, which isn't something anyone, especially older adults, needs more of. To reduce that risk, always refrigerate pine nuts after opening and use them within a short window of time. Another reason to treat pine nuts as an occasional treat rather than a daily snack is their nutritional makeup. They're relatively low in protein and fiber, which means they won't keep you full for long. And in a stage of life when every bite should work hard for your well-being, it's wise to choose foods that offer both enjoyment and nourishment. So how should you think of pine nuts? Picture them as a flavorful accent, something to sprinkle with intention, not something to reach for by the handful. A spoonful on a salad? Absolutely. A daily snack? Probably not. Your body, especially after 60, deserves foods that do more than taste good. They should support your energy, your clarity, and your longevity. And with that awareness, you're not cutting out pleasure, you're simply choosing with purpose. A thoughtful approach to eating isn't about restriction, it's about creating a life that feels lighter, stronger, and more intentional with every bite. 8. Chestnuts. More starch than strength. Unlike their crunchy cousins, chestnuts are soft, starchy, and slightly sweet. They evoke nostalgia, warmth, and comfort. But while they have their place in tradition, they're quite different nutritionally. And for seniors paying attention to blood sugar, energy, and satiety, these differences matter. Unlike almonds or walnuts, chestnuts are low in fat and protein. Instead, they're mostly made up of carbohydrates, which gives them a texture more like a potato than a typical nut. For some, that may make them easier to chew or digest. But it also means they won't keep you feeling full for long. And without the balancing effect of healthy fats or protein, chestnuts can cause blood sugar to spike more quickly, especially concerning for older adults managing diabetes or insulin resistance. Frank, 72, from Greenville, South Carolina, used to enjoy a bowl of roasted chestnuts in the evening during winter. It was a comforting habit that reminded him of childhood, but he began noticing that he'd wake up the next morning feeling groggy and unusually hungry. After consulting with his doctor and a dietitian, he realized the chestnuts were spiking his blood sugar before bed, then crashing it by morning. With a few changes, like adding a small serving of cottage cheese on the side, he was able to keep his favorite tradition without the side effects. That doesn't mean chestnuts need to disappear from your plate. Quite the opposite. It just means they need to be invited into your meals with intention. Think of chestnuts as you would a serving of bread or rice, something starchy and comforting that pairs best with foods that provide balance. If you're enjoying them roasted on a cozy evening or as part of a festive dish, consider having a bit of cheese or lean meat on the side. This small pairing can help slow digestion, avoid a rapid blood sugar rise, and leave you feeling more satisfied afterward. Another helpful approach is to treat chestnuts like a seasonal indulgence rather than a daily go-to. Their warm, hearty flavor is perfect for special occasions or cooler months, but relying on them as a snack throughout the week might not provide the strength and stability your body needs. After 60, every snack is an opportunity to fuel your body with purpose, and while there's room for joy and tradition, the foundation should always be balance. So next time you spot chestnuts in the market or on your plate, smile, savor the moment, and remember, with a little planning, even the starchiest foods can find their place in a strong, steady, and nourishing routine. It's all about making choices that honor both your memories and your well-being. As we wrap up this nut-filled journey, one truth stands out. The right choices today can shape the strength, clarity, and vitality you carry into tomorrow. Not all nuts serve the same purpose, and after 60, every bite matters more than ever. The beauty of this stage in life is the power that comes from paying attention. You don't have to overhaul your diet or give up the foods you love. You just need to listen to your body, your energy, and the wisdom you've gained along the way. So if this journey helped shift how you see that small handful of nuts in your palm, hold on to that insight. Share it with someone you care about. Carry it into your next meal. And if you haven't already, subscribe for more thoughtful guidance designed just for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.